So design thinking is both an ideology and a process concerned with solving complex problems in a highly user-centric way. So whatever the thinking, whatever the design thinking or whatever the innovation, we have to think about the user, and that should be in the user-centric way. So this is one of the rule in this design thinking. And when we are talking about the design thinking, it's a mix of analytical thinking and initiative thinking. Whenever we go for an interview or whenever we go for an aptitude test or competitive examinations, first we'll be facing this analytical exams, aptitude exams, analytical exams will be facing. So that is the first one, analytical thinking. This is an ability to tackle the complicated issues by evaluating informations gathered and organized. So first you have to organize the information, and you should evaluate that information. What are the informations you have gathered, that you have to analyze. So that is the first analytical thinking. Then initiative thinking. This may be the understanding reality in the moment. Without logic or analysis, we may be thinking something about the real things. This will happen like this will come like this. So like that, we'll be thinking something. So that is initiative thinking. So this analytical and initiative thinking forms the design thinking. So both are playing 50-50 of the role. Then when we are coming to this design thinking phases, we are having five phases. As we see in the first slide, we are having five phases, and that's empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. So these are the five phases. When you see the diagram, you just see the diagram. Here you are having the first one is the empathize. So understanding the problem of the customer from their viewpoint. So you have to understand the problem from the point of view of the customer, not from the point of view of yourself. You have to analyze the problem. What are they having? So that is empathize. Then define what is the exact problem that you have to define here. Then ideate what is the solution for that. What are the ideas? What are the innovations you are going to do? So that will come here. Enlight here. So then next is the prototype. You are creating a miniature for that particular innovation. Then you are evaluating this prototype. That is, you are testing whether this is right or wrong. So these are the five stages. So when you are coming to this one, you just see this. In the first slide itself, I told you this is an iterative process. This is not a sequential process. This is an iterative process. So first phase, empathize, then define, ideate, prototype, test. So when we go from empathize to define, we are analyzing the problem and designing the problem. Then we are going by the ideation and prototype. When this prototype is analyzed, prototype, I think you know, it is a model, or you can say it as a miniature. Pre-thing of the product. Any product, if you want to do, if you want to produce, it should have some pre-design. So that is prototype. That prototype you have to analyze, and from that prototype you may be having some other new idea. So again you have to go, you will be going back to for the ideation and new innovations. So again and again this iterations will take place. Again, when you are coming from, if the prototype, when you are passing the prototype, again you are coming to the testing phase. When you come to the test phase, if you are facing any problem, or if you are having any ideas, again new ideas, when you are testing your thing, then if you are having any problem, you have to refine the problem. If you are having any new idea in this stage, again you have to go to the ideation. This is just like our project management, nothing else. For the computer science students, this is nothing but project management. First you are doing the study, then you are doing the analysis, then you are doing the design, then implementation. Before that you are going for the testing. So when in the testing, if you are not satisfied, again you will be repeating the things. So that is what is happening in this design thinking also. That is also one of the design thinking when you are designing your projects. So here the first phase is the empathize. Here you have to research the user needs. For example, when you are going to the departmental store, you may be having some problem. That if you are running a departmental store, if you want to introduce something new to your departmental store to increase your sales, then you may like to introduce some new things. Then what you have to do is you have to research the user needs. what is the what are the things the users require. That is requirement of the users and the desires of the users must be researched. After researching that, you have to analyze. So empathy is nothing but understanding from the point of the customer. So here you have to design your design your process using the design thinking. So if you are having something else apart from the departmental store, if you are having something like bakery near your departmental store or in front of the departmental store, because if the people who are coming to the departmental store may want to have some coffee or tea like that, then you can introduce it. But for that, you have to analyze the user needs, what they need, whether they are on the go, they are buying the things, or they are coming and spending some time in your store. That and all you have to analyze, and you have to go for your design thinking. So this is also one of the design thinking. So it allows you set aside the assumptions about the world and gain real insight into the users and their needs. And then defining the problem. Here what you are doing is you are stating the user's actual requirement and the problems. So what are the problems are faced by the users in your area, and what are their requirements. So by knowing this, or exactly by knowing the problem or the requirement, you can define the problem, actual problem. Without knowing the actual problem, you cannot solve any problem. In our even in the computer science also, when you are writing a program, without knowing the program's logic or the what is the program, you cannot write the instructions to solve that program, to solve that problem. So like that, here also in the users, you should know about the user's requirement, what are the actual requirement of the user. So here you are accumulating the information gathered during the exercise phase. Sorry. So analyze the observations and synthesize them. So define the 4 problems that are identified. Then these, what are the definitions? These definitions are called problem statements. Then here you have to create the personas, nothing but identities. What are the things you have identified from these problems that you have to mention, but that should be in the human-centered form. The next one is in the ideate phase, challenging the assumptions and creating the ideas. So this is the major phase. Here, one quote from Einstein: "We can't solve the problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them." I think this may be little bit confusing, but it is very clear that we cannot solve the problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. When we have created the problem, you may be something, you may be having some thinking. If you have the same thinking at the time of solving the problem also, you'll never reach the solution. So this is what Einstein wants to tell. So that is in this way. So what we have to do is we have to think outside the box. We have to think outside the box. So from the knowledge gained in the first 2 phases, we understood that we have to think outside the box. So look for alternative ways to view the problem and identify innovative solutions to the problem statement you've created. So for this, you can use the brainstorming. Brainstorming is nothing but discussing with the same kind of people, or people who are having same thought. So when you discuss the problem with the group, you may be having so many ideas. So from that you can collect the ideas and you can go for the feasible one. So this is in the ideate phase. Then coming about the prototype, this we have to start to create the solutions. So in this solution, so this is an experimental phase. Here only you are doing the experimentation. It identifies the best possible solution for each problem found. So here when you are preparing the prototype, that should be inexpensive, scaled down versions of the product, because the main thing of the prototype is it is throwable one. All the computer science students know, we know the prototype model. When we develop the model, after seeing the execution and testing, we'll throw it out. We don't use it again. You cannot use it again. So this should be an inexpensive one. It's a scaled down version. So this could involve simply paper prototyping. Even in the paper also, you can do the prototyping. For example, when you say this, you can take the blueprint of the buildings. Blueprint of the buildings are the design. That are design thinking. They are drawing which part of that land should come in this. Where is the kitchen? Where is the hall? Where is the living room? And where is the study room, etc., etc. Everything will be mentioned in that, and where the electrical line will go, where the water flowing pipes and all will go. So everything will be mentioned in that blueprint. So that is also one type of prototyping. So this is done through the paper. So even not only that type of blueprint, so even everything can be any design can be done through the paper. For example, even our you just take our Word menu, MS Word. When you open the Word, you are having some tabs on that, and you are having some menus and pop-up menus, etc. You are having, even that can be done through the paper prototyping. So you can take the paper and you can design it. So that is also one of the actually you have to design your things like that only. First of all, you have to do it. The next one is testing. Actually, this is a main phase. Try your solutions out. Evaluators rigorously test the prototypes. Evaluators rigorously test the prototypes. So although this is the final phase, design thinking is iterative. So this is final phase. Here design thinking is iterative. So if you are having any flaws in the final phase, then you can go for the previous one. If you are having any flaws in the problem statement, then you can go for the defining phase. If you are having any problem in your designing, you can go to the prototype phase. Or if you are having any new idea, again you can go to the ideate phase, so that you can iterate your process. Here the teams use the results to redefine one or more further problems, but you can return the previous stages to make further iterations. These stages are, this is main important one. These stages are different modes which contribute to the entire design project rather than the sequential steps. These are not sequential steps. They are just contributing the entire design project, but no need to do it in the sequential manner. So after knowing about all these about the design thinking and how to do the design thinking, here design innovation. How we are doing the design innovation. This is nothing but viability plus desirability plus feasibility. That becomes the innovation. So viability means capability of doing that particular product or the process. Then desirability means interest created on that. That is actual requirement is there for that product or the process. So that is desirability. Then feasibility means we can do, that is affordable, it can be. So that is coming under the feasibility. So all these are combinedly coming in this design innovation. When you design an innovation product, it should have all these things. So if it is a desirable solution, then that customer really needs it. So that is a desirable solution. If it is a feasible solution, means building on the strengths of your current operational capability, maybe financially or technically or economically. So that is feasible solution. Then profitable, viable solution with a sustainable business model that is long standing. It'll be in success in the market. So like that, it is viable capability. It'll sustain in the market. So that is one model. So this design innovation consists of all these things. So here, design challenging the world, design thinking changing the world. When we see this, this is a peculiar topic for the computer science students. Nowadays, all these companies, even the IT companies and all the big MNCs are recruiting the people for this design thinking. For example, when you talk about this IBM, these people are training giving the training program in different fields. In the name of IBM Skills Academy, they are including AI, blockchain, cloud computing, cyber security, data science, all these, all these are buzzword now. In this, they have included this design thinking also. So they are training their employees in this design thinking training also. So this is one thing. Then when you come to this design thinking, you just when you see the diagram, you know this human values, technology, and business gives you the innovation. So the combination of all these gives you the innovation. When you come to this Infosys, they have given 1 lakh people, they have given the training for their employees. And when you come to PepsiCo, they have informed that all their managers should have the design thinking culture. They have to add new design thinking culture to connect with the customers at any level, at emotional level, or in the technological level, to boost their growth. So this is the main motto of their PepsiCo. So this is one another example by which the world is changing through this design thinking. So I think now you come to know about the value or the importance of the design thinking. Even though you are having all these technology, you need the design thinking, because day to day we are going for the new things. Every day we need new things. If you are having if you are not at all having the old things. For example, if you consider the when you are discussing about the social media, in the olden days, not in the olden days, in the just 1 or 2 years back, you have very much involved in the Facebook. You are all having the Facebook ID, and you'll be accessing, and you'll be putting your status, and you'll be posting something in your Facebook like that and all. But nowadays, just you have moved, just like anything, you have moved from Facebook to Instagram. In the middle you are in WhatsApp also. So just like that, all the people, most of the people are not watching the Facebook. Instead of that, just you have moved to Instagram because of its new facilities and the new features introduced in this Instagram. You are just whatever it is, when a new thing comes, the people like it. So every time you need some innovation. So for that, they are recruiting the people in the design thinking, and also they are training the people. So this diagram is from Amoya EC workshop. Here they have um, divided the design thinking process and innovation process into three things. The first one is here, then you are creating, then you are delivering. In the hearing part, you are hearing the problems of the users. You are hearing, understanding, and defining. So that is in the hearing stage. Then you are creating. In the creating stage, you are having the ideation and the prototyping. And in the delivering stage, you are improving, you are validating, implementing, and improving. So the next one, this is the main part about ourselves, in a beta stage. So nowadays, even government is also insisting to become the people as the innovators, and they are giving so many facilities and so many schemes for the innovators. Um, but what is our level? When we think about this, we are having the 4 zones. The first zone, innermost zone, is the comfort zone. It is very safe and controlled, but we never like to come out of this one. If we want to become a good innovator, then we have to cross this comfort zone. You have to come across this comfort zone. From the zone, you have to cross the safe zone. Then you are coming to the fear zone. You may not be having confidence. You may be a lack of self confidence, and you may be finding some excuses. I can't do this. I can't give the effort for this. I'm lacking in finance. I don't have the knowledge of this one. Like that, we are having so many excuses. I have crossed this one. I'm having my family in my back, so I have to go for the job and I have to earn. Like this, we are having so many criterias in this excuses. In the fear zone, we are keeping all these, and we are being in the comfort zone. So if you cross this fear zone, again you have to enter into learning zone. This is one more zone we have to put our effort. Without learning anything, you cannot survive. So you cannot get your success also. So you have to keep on learn. So when you get into your product or an innovation, you should learn about it. Without learning, you cannot achieve it. So you have to acquire the new skills. So after learning this, you are reaching this growth zone. In the growth zone, your life dreams come true. Then you can set your new goals and you can reach and you can go on, going up. So you have succeeded and you have passed everything and you are an entrepreneur or you are a businessman. So this is what is the stages we have to cross from the comfort zone to reach the growth zone. So what you have to do is you have to transform your stress into enthusiasm. This is the only way to reach this growth zone. So you don't take anything as very stress. Enthusiastically, very interestingly, you have to show interest in all your works. Then you can reach the growth zone. So this is the best usage of design thinking, redefining values, human-centered innovation, quality of life, etc., etc. These are all the design thinking best usages. Even in the medical breakthroughs, you are using the design thinking. That problems that cannot solved by the data also can be solved using this design thinking, because the world is nowadays of full of data. Everywhere where you go, data science, data processing, data analytics. So everything is based on the data, but all the thing cannot be solved by data. So that can be done through this design thinking. So form the right mindsets, teams, and environments for the innovation. So the mindset should be in the right side, that is in the positive way. Then the team should be like that. It should be a positive team and a cooperative team, and the environment also should support you to go for a good innovation. So here is one case study for this design thinking about the Airbnb. Maybe you have heard of this. This is an app which is doing the holiday rentals, cabins, then beach houses, everything. You can rent through this. You can reserve through this app. The Q3 revenue of this year, 2021, is of this app is $2.2 billion. This is a huge amount, but when they were started this one, they have just earned only less than $200, like 200 rupees and 2000 crores. You can compare like that. So 200 per week. But they have done lots of experimentation. They have done some risk thinking outside of the norm. Everything they have done, but they couldn't find out what is happening. Then what the people of that founders, one of the co-founder did is he used that app from the viewpoint of a customer. So when he was looking at that app, he realized that the photographs in that and the pictures in that app are not looking nice. So that was the reason. That was the only reason for that app's unsuccessful. So here, what he decided is, those people decided means they rented a camera, then they traveled to New York and they spent some time to their customers to replace the amateur photos with the professional looking ones. So they have changed the photos, and a week later itself they have their revenue have nearly doubled. So this is a very apt example for the design thinking. So see this is one of the photo in this Airbnb. The changed photo, one sample. So everything over, we know what is design thinking and what are the phases in the design thinking, what is innovation, and what is the role of design thinking in innovation. Everything is okay. So we are keep on speaking about design thinking. But how to exercise this design thinking? How to do this design thinking? So this is one major question. So for this, we are having some exercises. For example, the first one is Camper, second one SWOT analysis, third one six thinking hacks, fourth one group sketching and brain writing, then mind mapping and final thoughts. So when you go to the Camper, here S stands for substitute, C combine, A adapt, M modify, P put to other users, and E eliminate, and or rearrange or reverse. So these are the expansions for this Camper. So substitute means substituting an element within the product. Within the product, you can swap the products with the other product. So this is one innovation. For example, you are preparing a cosmetic. You may be having cosmetic product, so you may be having some of the ingredients in that product. But if you want to have something else, you want to add to reach the people, means what you can do is you can swap the product. Swapping means you can substitute, instead of this one you can substitute another one. Okay. For example, when you go to the markets, you may be seeing that in the flavor of lavender, in the flavor of rose, in the flavor of jasmine, like that they have introduced the product. So that is one of the substitute. Then you can go for the combine. Combine means you can combine some other things. You can combine two things and you can release a new product. Then adapting. Adapting is the product that can be adapted to a different context. The same product that can be used in the different context. Then modifying, just like that, you can improve the product and put to other uses. These are all ideas. What are the ideas you can implement to prepare or to generate a product? Are there any other users using this product? So this is put to other users. Then eliminating something from your product and making some new one or simple one. Then rearranging or reversing the things, so to get the better project. So this is the scamper. Then SWOT analysis. Usually we do SWOT analysis for to know our strength and weakness in our PDPs. But here you are applying it for the products. Strength, what about this product works well and what do you like most about it? You can take the research or you can take the survey about your product, and you can identify that. And weakness of your product. What about this product isn't working well, and what are the dislikes in this product? So this is coming under this weakness. Then opportunities. What are the opportunities to improve your product? And how can you do it more? So that are the opportunities. And threats. Are you having the similar product in the market? If you release the soap, bathing soap, then you are having more number of similar products in your what is that in your you are having more number of similar products in this area. But you have to success by releasing new one in your product. Then who are your competitors and what makes them stand out? So this is also another one coming under the threats. You must know about the competitors and how to overcome that competitor, that you should know. Then the next one is six thinking hats. So in this white hat, yellow hat, black hat, red hat, green hat, and blue hat. So these six hats are you are having. Then logic. What are the facts and what information do we have? Yellow hat. Black hat, devil's advocate. What are the risks in this preparing this product? Then red hat, emotions. What does your gut tell you? So when you release a product, you may feel that this product will come very successfully, but sometimes you may be thinking that we think this is little bit tough to reach the audience as our what is the thought, like that. So that is coming under this red hat. Then green hat, creativity. Or there other uses or alternatives, so that is coming under green hat. Then blue hat means management or the rules of the exercise being followed. So this is coming under the blue hat. So these are the six thinking hats which is coming under this design thinking. And then group sketching. So here each participant will start their own piece of paper and writing tool. So here you can set a timer for 2 to 3 minutes and let each member to sketch their own idea for that product. Once the time is up, every participant passes their paper to another member who can then add their own ideas to page. So what you are doing here is you are doing the sketching, that is drawing. So this continues until each participant has had a chance to add every original sketch. So you are drawing something, and if you are having 10 members in your group, means other 9 members will sketch your original piece. So till then you will be keep on doing this. So this is what is called group sketching. By this you can improve your innovation. Then brain writing. Brain writing is a brainstorming technique. This is participants are simply writing their ideas. In the previous one, they are sketching. Here they are writing. That's all. That is the only difference behind this. Then mind mapping. So this is an example for mind mapping. But here this is for learning purpose. For the product also you can draw like this. So what is the actual main thing, and what are all the thing you want to expose. So that is given. What are the thing you have to develop? What are the thing you want to you have to do? So that will be drawn using this mind map. So this is an example for mind map for the higher education institution. The teacher in the higher education institution. This is also a design thinking. What are the things the teacher has to do when the teacher belong to a higher education institution? So this is also coming under design thinking process. So final thoughts, use the above techniques to help make brainstorming sessions as productive and helpful as possible. Then one more thing is try not to be too strict on yourself. That is one more thing. You have to little bit adjustable and flexible in this case to look upon your ideas, the ideas of others with a non-judgmental attitude. So you should not prejudge the ideas. You have to receive all others ideas in the positive manner, and you can go through everything and you have to go for the best one. Then encourage wacky or non-traditional ideas. Even you have to encourage the non-traditional ideas, means new innovations, focusing more on quantity at this point rather than quality. You have to focus on the quantity, number of innovations. Then gather your resources, paper, pen, sticky notes, whiteboard, etc. Then the most important one is give yourself a time limit. That is very much important. Let the ideas flow. You may be getting a day to day, your ideas may come new ideas you may be getting, but everything has a time limit. Then after that time limit you have to go for the implementation. So students, you can do this 30 circles problem to improve the design thinking process. For example, here you are having 30 circles. So in this 30 circles, within a minute, how many designs you can make? So that is a creative problem making. So you can improve your ideas by doing these problems and all very regularly. Problems like this will help to improve your innovative thoughts. So these are some references from where I have collected the material. Thank you one and all. Thank you students for your patience listening. I thank the management and the principal, faculty members, head of the department, and students of Bharatdasan College of Arts and Science. And also, I would like to thank our college, Ponga Arts and Science College management, principal, head of the department, and IAC president to offer the opportunity to me. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am, for your encouraging and innovative session. Collective work is the secret behind the progress. Thank you is a prayer that has to be filled by all. Now I call upon Mr. K. Satish, Assistant Professor of Computer Science, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Very good afternoon to one and all present gathered here. On behalf of BGNHS Department of Computer Science, it is a honor to propose a vote of thanks to all those who have helped us to make this webinar grand success. I would like to thank our chairman, treasurer, joint secretaries, CEO, and AO sir for gracing the occasion. I would like to thank our beloved principal sir for your kind support and permission for this webinar. And also I extend my thanks to our dean sir for your support. I would like to thank our today's chief guest, Dr. J. Gayatri Madam for sparing your valuable time for this webinar.